So I asked you guys to comment any questions on Instagram that you had for me to answer on this vlog. So Angel's gonna read the question, who it's from, and I'm gonna answer the question. So go, who's the first one?
Itis. Right?
Really?
Yeah. I noticed you didn't put on mascara in your morning video.
Get ready with me video.
Get ready, yep. You usually not wear mascara.
Okay. So I did go over this in that video, but I can answer it again. The reason why I do not wear mascara is because I have eczema on my eyelids and precisely right around my lashes, and I noticed that the eczema flares up when I wear mascara, so that's the reason why I don't wear mascara. And at first it bothered me because I felt like I was too plain or it was missing, but I've gotten used to it and I kind of really like the way it looks because it's like more natural. So that is why I don't wear mascara, and that's all the time. Next question.
And sensitive questions. But when do you and your hubby plan to try again?
From who is the question?
Oh, it's from you, me.
Speak loud.
You, me, coast now. You, me, coast now.
Okay, and what's the question?
Unique. Sensitive question, but when do you and your hubby plan to try again? Or are you going to take a break from TTC? Love you.
Love you too. Love you too. We plan on TTCing. I'm gonna use a lot of abbreviations because of obvious reasons in the backseat. So we plan on TTCing as soon as possible. We're waiting for for the second menstrual cycle to happen. We have to wait for the first one so it can coat the lining and then go into the second one, and on the second one I will be starting Clomid again, which is already waiting at the pharmacy for me to pick up. So it wasn't a sensitive question, it's okay. I'm really ready to get back on it, and I don't want this to define me as a woman and to break me from or keep me from my goal. How do you feel about it?
We ain't giving up, kid. Keep on going.
Right. That's all I got was 3 questions for you guys, and my camera's overheating. So thank you guys so much for putting in your questions. No question is ever too sensitive. I have this channel for a reason, even if it's for funny questions, and I'll answer them. We'll see you guys soon. I'm not gonna end this vlog just yet, so see you soon when this camera's not overheating. Say bye, Elijah.
Bye.
So I'm gonna be chopping some onions and red and green bell pepper for the meatballs that I'm gonna be making. So while I'm chopping, I'm gonna be answering the rest of y'all's questions. The last question that I answered yesterday was from Poonam about how Angel and I met, so I know you guys enjoyed that story. It's really funny. The next question is by a Swafford story, aka Miranda. Hey, shout out to you, my love. Question is, what's your best advice for a couple wanting to start trying to build their family? As a matter of fact, if you were to have asked me years ago about, you know, hey, when are you planning on starting a family, or have you guys discussed that, I would have said, oh yeah, when the time is right, we're totally gonna go for it. Angel and I used to always joke around and say, because he already had 2 kids, we used to always say that just the second that we're like, yeah, we're gonna do it, and the first time we do it, like, forget it, I'm gonna be pregnant right then and there. Like, we won't even have to wait to take a pregnancy test, because as soon as we're done, you know, baby dancing, like, that's it, I'm pregnant. we used to always joke around like that because he's always been a very fertile man, luckily. So we used to always joke around. So I used to think that I could get pregnant with no problem. I never thought that I would be going through what I'm going through in a million years. I never even imagined it. I never, you know, I never really put my shoes in it. I wasn't even aware of this community. Advice is just to go into that journey with an open mind and be optimistic, be excited, have fun with it. Don't make it a chore, don't make it a schedule, just have unprotected sex, pretty much. If you're trying to start a family, just enjoy it. Know that you won't know if you're one of us. Have fun when you go into it. Don't make it a strain on your relationship, especially when you're first starting out. Have fun with it. Don't say I'm gonna get pregnant on the first month or the second month. No, just have fun. Just have fun. I remember Angel and I had fun. Like, we had fun the first few months. It wasn't until I was almost 6 months into trying that I was like, what's going on? Because it was 6 months already and I felt like something was just off. So to be honest with you, I say the first 6 months, enjoy it, have fun, don't time it, don't worry about when you ovulate or this and that. Don't do that, because if God forbid you have to go down this path, then you're gonna have to worry about all of those things. Ovulation, when your menstrual cycle comes, is it regular? Are you ovulating? If you are ovulating, is it a good ovulation? Like, there's so many different things that you have to think about and know and do homework on. So for the first 6 months, just make it fun. So next question is from well, I have 3 questions from Jalissa. So shout out to Jalissa, boo. Kisses and hugs. Jalissa, your first question is, how many kids do you guys want together? Most of you that have been following me and know about Angel already and his children know that he has 2 kids, a daughter that's 18 and a son that's 8, gonna be 9 in August. And for those of you that are new to my channel, you just found out. I've always wanted to have a big family. I've always wanted to have a boy, a girl and stuff. And my goal, honestly, if it were up to me, I would be cheaper by the dozen and have 12 children. And, you know, live in a huge house filled with a lot of kids who probably argue a lot, but at the end of the day need each other in each other's lives. And I feel like that is the sweetest thing. I feel like family is the most important thing in life, honestly. So I'm aiming, realistically, I'm aiming for, I want to say like 4 or 6. I don't like odd numbers, so I want to go for an even number. If I don't make it to 6, then I want to have 5, and that's including his children. So I want to have 4 of our own. So Angel and I put together, it would be 6 or 5. So I'll either have 3 or 4 more, and then Elijah and Angelina would count as the other 2 to complete the 6 or the 5, depending how many I get to have. So I would like to have 4 total of my own with Angel. But we'll see. We'll see if that's even a possibility. We'll see how many life does give me. God willing, at least I get 1. That's all I ask for, to be honest with you guys. You know, I don't plan on going on birth control after I conceive and have a healthy baby. I want to just stay off of birth control. The next question by Jalissa is, what advice would you give to single parents and someone becoming a single mom with father not in the baby's life. Okay, so first question is, let's take a sip of coffee for this one. My biggest advice for single parents is learn to co-parent. The reason why I say this, and I think that I'm entitled to say this, is because I see firsthand what it's like for Angel to co-parent with the mothers of his children. So Angelina comes from, which is his daughter, comes from one mother, and then Elijah comes from the other. I've seen the struggles when it comes to co-parenting. I've seen how easy it can be when you cooperate with each other, and I'm not going to get fully into this, but I can say that unfortunately, I guess it's because, for the most part anyway, Angel did conceive his daughter when he was really young. And so it's hard to co-parent when you're really young and you make stupid decisions and you make things a lot harder, but in the long run it hurts the child more than it would that person that you once were dating and now you're trying to get back at. Now Elijah was conceived at a later age, and he was more mature, he was more knowledgeable, and I feel like she was too. And I feel like Elijah's mom and Angel co-parent really well. As you all know, I'm really close to Elijah's mom, which is Jennifer. If you're watching, Jen, hey. So I can tell you, and I can be honest, that I feel like the reason why it works to co-parent is because the three of us are always on the same page. And no, I don't need to be involved really, but we really took it upon ourselves to create a relationship that made it stronger. And it's something that Elijah really admires and he loves to see. And he used to, when we first got really close, he used to always tell everybody, my mom and Jeseth are like best friends. They talk all day on the phone. Like that's my mom's best friend, and that's Jeseth's best friend. And it makes me want to cry and get emotional because I love Elijah a lot, and I've always said he's like my first baby. I met him when he was 2, going on 3, so I've been a part of his life for many years, and I feel like there's nothing more beautiful than being able to co-parent. And don't get me wrong, Angel and Elijah's mom have, you know, butted heads plenty of times, and I'm usually the mediator where I'm like, guys, let's see it from this way and from that way, and I think that's really cool. Now, of course, you're not gonna always have a person that can be super understanding of what co-parenting is, and they're not gonna want to be super close to the ex per se, so I understand that. But what you want to do is be able to know that your child is in good hands. If you're a single mother and you have to co-parent with your ex and he has somebody else and he's moved on, your main concern should be that your child is in good hands with that person that he's dating. It shouldn't have any type of emotional attachment to that person, because if he's moved on and you've moved on and you've made this decision to separate, then obviously you shouldn't care who he dates as long as that person isn't treating your child badly. So my first advice for single parents is learn to co-parent, because at the end of the day, you're only going to be hurting your child, and you want the best interest for your child, because that's the attachment that you guys will have for life, no matter what, until he dies or until mom dies or dad dies. You guys will always have that attachment to each other, which is your child. So therefore, learn to co-parent for the sake of your child. Learn to communicate with that person. If you're struggling as a single mom, you know, I don't think that it's bad to reach out to that father if he's not a deadbeat dad, of course. If he is, then for women out there that are single mothers and don't have the support of the father at all, my main thing that I'm going to tell you is this: be strong. You see from my channel, you see from this community that we have here, all these women that I see that empower me to be strong. I'm empowering you to be even stronger. Do what you have to do for your child. Get up, go to work, provide food, make sure they're going to a good school. You know, have your shit together. Have your situation situated at all times. That's what you should be focusing on. Don't focus on, I can't believe he's not here, I can't believe, no. Because at the end of the day, your child is going to look up to you as a role model, and so much more, to see that my mom did it all on her own without any man's help, and vice versa. My dad did it all on his own, even though my mom left me. And he stuck here with me, and he was a great dad, and he had his situation situated at all times. That's my advice, is to stay strong and to have that child be your motivation to stay strong and to move on and to be a perfect and great example of what a woman or man should be at all times. Don't think that you have to go out there and find a dad for your child, or don't go out there and decide that you have to find a mom for your child. No, those things come when the time is right. You have to be good for yourself in order to be good for another person. So with that being said, your main concern should be your child and being a perfect role model for that child. No matter what comes your way, no matter who or what tries to break you down, you stand strong in front of your child. And when that baby is sleeping, he or she is sleeping, you can go in your room and cry it out, because it's going to be tough, granted. But in front of your child, you're always strong, no matter what. And then when they get older, if you want to share your experiences, your trials and tribulations, you can totally do that, to show them that you can make it through, to be a great role model for them, and to show them that in tough situations they can make it through too. So that's the advice that I have for single parents and co-parenting parents. I'm gonna answer the last question, and then that's gonna wrap up the Q&A that I started on Instagram. So the last question is from Jalissa, and it says, have you guys planned on having a big wedding or small, and have you guys been planning the wedding out yet? So the first question, to answer it, we're going to be having a very small, intimate wedding, because I want to pretty much focus on our honeymoon. I'd rather spend money on our honeymoon where it's going to be just him and me, and we're going to get to enjoy all of it rather than spend so much money, because the majority of my family, well, all of my family lives in Colombia, and it would be really hard to get them out here and really expensive. Even though some of them have their visas to come and visit the US, some of them don't. So because of that, I'd rather just do something really intimate. And like I said, I'd rather just put all our money, save up money, and put it all into you know, a really nice honeymoon. So with that being said, we're gonna have an intimate wedding. It's gonna be really romantic still. I'll go over all of those details. I'll dedicate like a video on it when the date gets closer. And like I said, it's August 25th that we are going to be getting married. So once it gets closer to that date, I'll go over all of the plans and all of the things that we have set in place, like where we're gonna get married, and the place and stuff like that. And then the second part was, and have you guys been planning the wedding out yet? So funny enough, we went on a nice little date night. It was really fun, and we actually were sitting down just talking, you know, and we were talking about the wedding and stuff like that, and we were just planning out certain things. So we're not really planning it completely, only because it's not, like I said, it's gonna be an intimate wedding. So we pretty much just have to go get the marriage license, which we're gonna be doing in July, and then that's valid for 60 days. And then they give you a list of people who are able to marry you. You contact them, and they give you the information of like where they can marry you and all of that, I'm assuming. So I think at that point, once we have the marriage license in July, is when we will start planning the wedding. So that wraps up the questions that you guys asked me on Instagram. Thank you so much for always supporting me and for your questions and contributing. I really do appreciate it. For those of you that don't know what my Instagram page is, I will put it in right here, so that way you guys can follow me. I thank you guys so much for your support. Like I said,